All right. Hey, everybody. We're here with a chat with Rye Rice, expert in private labeling. Get every questions answered. We'll do a little chat. We'll do some Q&A. And we'll see where we go from there. How you doing today, Rye?
I'm doing great. What about yourself, Sean?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're, I've met Rye a couple times. She's come and spoken at my my live events. We've done, we recently launched our own first private label product, Valerie and I, and we're, private labeling is, is great. Just one moment. Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
All right, Timmy, come on.
So, why don't you tell us about what you do, private labeling, and maybe some people have some questions. I think it's a great thing to do, if you have a good product, not just, to find competitors doing the same thing. If there's 20 people selling the same thing, it might not be the best option, in my opinion, just to private label. I know lots of people that are selling millions of dollars that aren't private labeling. So there's plenty, out there in retail and wholesale without having to do private label. Why don't you tell us about how you do it, and we can go from there.
All right, awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm Rye. I've been importing, so buying from overseas, and sorry about the lighting. I have a new place, and I literally have like no lamps or anything in here, so it's like super dark. So sorry about that, guys. But I've been importing, buying goods from China, India, and Italy for about 11 years. I got started when I wanted to wholesale Apple iPhones, and I think I was like 16 at the time, so it didn't resonate with me that I couldn't do that without proper licensing, and then at that point, I want to be getting it from China. So got a couple of knockoffs and was super disappointed, but I was very intrigued with just buying from China. So started to do some research, got some coaching, and over the years, I imported and sold a lot of goods locally and on eBay. When Amazing Selling Machine first came out, I became really intrigued with Amazon. The only thing was I wasn't sure what made a good Amazon product. I knew what made a good product to sell locally and on eBay. And I knew what, at the time I was in college, I knew what college students wanted. But I couldn't grasp what to sell on Amazon. And I knew that if I could grasp that, I'd be okay because I've been importing for so long. So, did a group buy and bought that course and totally failed. I bought silicone baking mats. And for anyone that's considering private labeling silicone baking mats, please don't. Or silicone barbecue gloves. Or yoga mats. So what I do is I look for products that have very low search results. So when I search the product, I'm specifically looking for less than 2,000 results. So if I search for a product and 17,000 results come up, I'm not going to look at that product any further. I'm also looking at products that are lightweight because it's going to be cheaper and faster for me to ship. However, there are times where I have shipped heavier items because the profit margin was so good and the competition was so low. That's something that you'll discover as you continue forward. That a lot of times the heavier items, there are lower competition because people either don't want to wait, because a lot of times when you're shipping heavier items, you want to ship by sea. Sea can take anywhere from 25 days to 45 days. So it is a lengthy process. So with that being said, I'm really looking for products that are going to give me a good margin and are going to have low competition. Once I find that, I find a supplier. I'll go to Alibaba. I'll go to TradeKey. I will research past suppliers that I've used before in the past. I have a couple connections in China due to other businesses that I've done, and they'll tell me, oh yeah, you can find that in China for, $1. and they'll connect me to someone. I'll also reach out to material makers. So let's say I want a unique glass product. I would reach out to a glass manufacturer. I would show them a product, make video of that product. And if I have to, I would send that product. Glass is actually a bad example because I don't do glass. I don't do electronics. I don't do products with multiple components that can possibly get lost in transit. I also don't do anything that is consumable, anything that goes in the body or on the body, such as creams. I don't do that at this point. If you are considering consumables or something that goes on the skin, I do suggest you use a U.S. manufacturer or wherever you're located, doing that domestically for two reasons. One, sometimes China manufacturers are using the wrong ratio of ingredients, and especially when it comes to the FDA, you could be possibly putting your potential customer at risk in breaking the law. Also, during the transit with those materials in different weather climate, your product may not be the same quality that it left China with. So I would definitely suggest doing it wherever you are so that you're working with someone who's familiar with your laws, as well as the easier shipping transit time. Sean, how'd I do?
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, so, we just launched a private label product. We're making these posters right behind us for Amazon sellers. We're sourcing and everything we're looking for as far as private label. We're sourcing locally, as far as in the U.S. This product happened to actually be from a U.S. company, but it was shipped from Germany, FedEx, and we still got it in a couple days. But, we try and source everything in America for the private label products we've done. So it's a little bit different, but we're selling higher end, type products. And of course we don't do electronics either, but, I think the main question is, as far as finding, getting samples. Can you talk to us about, do you always need to get a sample? Do you, how do you deal with the samples? How much should you be paying? Really should a sample for a 50-cent item be costing, $30 or $40 that, a lot of people are experiencing?
Yes. Always get a sample, no matter what. I made this mistake once and it almost cost me $300, but I'm pretty good at just liquidating and pushing it off. Also, what you'll want to do is once you get that sample and you decide to go ahead and get a small bulk order, for example, of 100, also ask for a production sample, because sometimes the samples that you are sent are made from like an older mold. So the quality may be slightly different. Not to say that it's going to be worse, but it could be different. And you want to make note of those things. So you ask for a production sample. That may be something you want to actually ask for before they do the bulk order. Usually it's never been a problem. If it is a problem, I definitely would, ask why would that be an issue? But usually it's not a big thing. Darren, what's the difference between a sample and a production sample? The production sample is the sample that you're actually getting made on the spot before your total bulk is made. So they may be sending you a sample that they've had in their office from 6 months ago that they used with another order, another past buyer. And since then, they may have changed their molds, or anything could have happened. They could have changed material that they're using. So when they come to make your product, it's not exactly like the sample they originally sent you. And sometimes that can be very frustrating because you ordered a sample just to check and verify the quality, and now you have 100 of an item that does not match. And so that's why you get a production sample. It's the sample that will more than likely, I've never experienced it, not look like the 100 that you'll get, or 99 that you'll get once you order. Sean, I'm sorry, I got a little backtrack. What was the other question?
The cost.
The
Can you
cost.
talk about
Okay.
the costs for getting samples, as far as, a dollar product, them wanting, up to $50 or more? A lot of people have experienced that when ordering, especially from China.
Okay. Yeah. So it really does depend. I've had products that cost, I want to say upwards to $10. I've gotten it free. However, the freight is on me. They'll either ask me for my account information, and this is when you have like a UPS account, a DHL account. That way they can bill it to your account and you can pay DHL directly. Or you can opt to go ahead and give them the money and then have them process everything, whichever you're more comfortable with. Um, Over $10, I usually see that they want me to pay, usually not the cost that it's going to cost me per unit, but a little bit higher. So let's say there's a product for $10. They may ask me to pay $15 plus a shipping fee. The shipping fee, of course, varies. I paid as little as $15 and I paid as much as $65. It just really depends. Also depends on the carrier that you're using. I would get the dimensions of the product and the weight, and you can check it yourself online to see if they're trying to like slick make a profit. But usually they just want to get your business, and a lot of times they're willing to bend over backwards to get that. So generally, under $10, I usually get the product for free. Over $10 is usually a little bit more than the per unit cost that I'll be paying.
Great, great. And as far as, if you have your own product designed, have you been able to, lock down some kind of a deal for them not to compete? I mean, a contract in America is going to be no good in China. So, do you have any experience with stopping people from selling your products to other companies, posting them on their websites on Alibaba so other people can just order them?
I've
How do you deal with that?
I've only customized 2 products myself, and doing that, it was sketches, videos, pictures of products that already existed that were like my product. And I paid for the mold. I've paid as little as $35 for a mold, believe it or not, and as much as $2,000 for a mold. To be very honest with you, like you said, it's not going to uphold here. If they can do they can do whatever the heck they want. Generally, I choose my suppliers that have a track history, not only on sites like Alibaba or Trade Key, but on Google as well, that have a reputation to protect. I also asked in the beginning, just simply, hey, we're getting this done. You're making my mold. Would you, be as kind not to put this on Alibaba and other places and not offer it to other sellers? And they say, yeah. But to be very honest with you, there really is no way for me to protect myself, not here. That would involve a lot of legalities over there, me having a lawyer over there and working that. And to be honest, it's not worth it. Not right now, not for me.
Okay, so, once you find a company and then you have them, make your sample and you have your product, then what do you do?
Once I have this sample in the ordering, or after I've gotten my bulk order?
So you ordered your bulk product, you get it shipped, usually by air. So then you have it at your door. What is the process you go through from there? If you're listing it on Amazon, how do you go about, making that listing and, finding the best way to, to get it in front of everybody when, you already found a top seller and you're making something similar? What do you do then?
Sure, yeah, 2 different things. If I'm bundling a product, let's say I have toothbrush and toothpaste versus just toothbrush. If I'm bundling, just depending on the quantity, I will send to a third party to bundle for me and then ship it to Amazon's warehouse on my behalf, because I am getting a little busy. I usually do it at home. Like, I'm actually doing that now. I have boxes everywhere and I'm packaging myself, putting things in a bag, and just doing it myself. But I will do that for a third party just because it saves so much time and money. Now, if it's just one singular product, I'm bringing it in my home. I'm looking through to just make sure everything, you know, looks good. I'm not too concerned with quantity. There's never been a problem where I've ordered like 500 and I've like 1, 2, 3, because usually what you'll do is they'll package it a certain way so will you'll be able to actually like look and get a feel if all of them are there. And if it's not, it may be, you know, less than 10 and let's say 500, which I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to raise the fuss over. After inspecting, I go ahead and label if my manufacturer is labeled for me. And I go ahead and send to Amazon's warehouse. They receive it, they check it in, and then they send me an email saying that the product is ready for sale. Once that happens, I get an idea of how much my competitor is selling a day. So let's say my competitor is selling 20 a day. So I will do a promotion and I will sell 30 to 40 of my product. Usually they're low enough to go ahead and give that away. I'll give it away from anywhere from 1 cent to a couple of dollars, just depending on the product and how much it costs me. From there, that lets Amazon know that there's a large amount of buyers in a short period. So your product must be hot. People must really want this product. Let's push it up to the top because she's going to make us more money. Because Amazon makes money on the fees. The more product you sell, the more fees they could charge you, the more money they make. It's a win-win situation, or so they say. So that pushes you up in ranking. Once I do that, I ask those people who purchase, because they got the discount, would they be so kind to leave a review? Now, once I get about 12 to 15 reviews, I turn on PPC, which is pay-per-click advertising. And literally each time someone clicks a sponsor ad, which shows up in the listings on the Amazon search result for the keywords I've selected, I will pay Amazon. And the goal there is to have it so that I'm profiting, so that it may be costing me, you know, $1 to make $4 back, which I will spend because it's profitable for me. That's kind of the process. From there, it's more so just kind of tweaking and staying on top of everything, keeping track of the inventory, things of that nature. But that's the initial launch process.
Okay, as far as you know, the pay-per-click advertising, you're talking about the campaign manager, right?
Correct. So this is PPC within Amazon, not Bing or Google. Right.
Okay. Well, there's also product advertising that you can do through Amazon. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there are 2 different types. One will take the Amazon buyer off Amazon into your website. That's not anything that I have experience with. All of it's within Amazon into my product listing. Darren, how do you tell between a manufacturer and a middleman? Okay, so you have your trader, your manufacturers, and ones that claim to do both. If you like, Sean, can I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
All right. Sorry, someone tagged me in a funny picture. Apologize. One thing you will be able to notice, if a company is selling just very different types of products, usually they're traders. So if they're selling iPhones, if they're selling toothbrushes, if they're selling silicone baking mats and then yoga mats, there's not a common theme there, and usually they're traders. But let's say they're selling different types of items, but with the same material. So you have, let's say, silicone baking mats. You have silicone oven mitts. And they're not necessarily all kitchen goods, but they're all made of silicone. So let me, okay, paper box, since Alibaba thinks I'm interested in paper boxes. You'll go to click the company name on Alibaba, and then it'll say business type. And this right here is a trading company. So they're the middleman that you spoke of. And like I said, you'll also notice that there's different types of products usually. For this company, it looks like they only specialize in boxes, different types of boxes, color boxes, gift boxes, paper boxes, fruit and vegetable boxes. That's interesting. So even though they have the same type of products, they are a trading company. And one thing you can do to just verify that is just simply ask. I haven't really had anyone like keep that information to themselves and not want to share that with me. I just say, hey, you know, we're interested in knowing if you are a trading or manufacturing company. We work with both. I do prefer manufacturers because the cost is usually lower and it's usually easier to make changes with a manufacturer.
Great. That's great information. Now, when you're creating your listing, how do you find your, the best way to find keywords? Are you just looking at your competitors' listings, or are you using any kind of outside software for creating keywords? Or what's your process as far as creating the actual listings? Do you make your own photos, or do you source that out to another company? Are you making the listings yourself?
Okay, great. So as far as the pictures, I do outsource. I actually use a guy off of Fiverr, but he does a fabulous job. I was skeptical at first, and he had like low reviews at the time, but now he has well over 500. Just amazing. And I've paid as low as $5 for pictures to be taken, and as high as 65. Give me one moment. I'll get the link for you as well. So if anyone wants to use him, you guys definitely can. Like I said, I can contest. I've used him 5-6 times. He does an extraordinary job.
Are you sending him your pictures, or
I'm sending him the yes, I'm mailing it to him. He's located in Texas, and usually my products again they aren't really large. I think I've only had one product that cost like $14 just to ship. It was a little heavier product made of metal. But yeah, so you send it to him. He will send it back to you if you send in a pre-labeled box or bag or whatever you're shipping it in. He will ship it back to you. Otherwise, he'll keep it or throw it away. Usually it's not even worth it to have it shipped back to me. So I just, let him keep it. He'll put in props as well. He'll have people wear it if you want. You can buy all these neat extras. As far as the keyword research goes, I use Google Keyword Planner. I just started using Merchant Words, which is a great tool for product research as well. I'm getting new ideas. And I also use the suggestions by Amazon. As you're typing one word, it starts to suggest other words that may go with what you're searching for or what they're guessing that you're searching for. And that kind of puts you in the buyer's mind, how they may be searching that you may have not thought of. As far as the listing, I have a little background in writing and persuasive writing and document presentation. Actually majored in English with a concentration in rhetoric and composition. So it's actually something I've kind of been doing for quite a while. So I do my own listings. I have a video on how I actually make my listings. I'm happy to share that with your folks as well. But generally I try to paint a picture in my buyer's mind. Let them know what this product is going to do for them, what it features, and then most importantly at the end, a call to action, asking them to put the item in their cart and letting them know that they're just a few days away from the solution my product provides, or thanking them for or congratulating them or making the smart choice to finally put their agonizing issue that my product will solve to rest. Something like that. I know it sounds a little corny, but it kind of relieves the buyer of any doubt, which is another important part. You want to put the ease in their mind that that your product will work, like you say it will. Give me just a moment. I'm going to scroll up. There is a question. What kind of lifespans do you see for products? That is, how long can you tend to steady sellers? It's actually funny. I saw a product that I thought was dying, and I'm thinking maybe it was a seasonal item and I didn't recognize that. all of a sudden it started to pick up. Like this item was selling 2 or 3 a day. All of a sudden it's selling like 7 or 8. I'm like, whoa. It's a product in the kitchen and gardening niche. So 2 different niches. And all of a sudden, like I said, it just started selling well. So I'm like, okay, cool. Generally, it really just depends on the product and the audience, and if it's a product that that is an accessory to something that changes. For example, iPhone cases. Not too many people are probably searching for the iPhone 4 case anymore, versus the iPhone 5 and 6, and soon probably 7. So there are certain products that will kind of ride a wave. So it really is kind of hard to answer that question. But generally with my products, I do pick them pretty well. So it stays pretty steady throughout the year. How do you pay for manufacturers safely? In other words, so you don't get ripped off. Okay, yeah, great question. So what I like to do is I like to ask them first off, do they take PayPal or Escrow? Escrow, you're paying everything up front. However, the money is not released to the buyer. So this is motivation for them to actually say what they're going to do, or do what they're going to say. And then with PayPal, I like to use PayPal and also my credit card. If PayPal for some reason does not want to give me my money if something awful were to happen, I have that protection through my Capital One card or my Visa card with Navy Federal, whichever card I'm using. There's usually a 0% fraud liability clause with credit cards. So I don't use debit. I don't use my PayPal funds. I don't use my checking account. I use a credit card. That way it creates 2 levels of protection for me. Give me one moment and I will get that video for you. Let's see.
Right, I actually have a question too when you're ready for the next one.
Sure, I'll ask away.
Do you, obviously we've done it and I think we believe in it a lot, but do you advertise? Do you invest in like extra advertising for all of your products, or?
Within Amazon?
Yeah, within Amazon.
No, so some I don't. Some I just, unfortunately, I don't see a very good return on. It's kind of odd. Okay. So right now I have 2. I have 2 running, but I recently just turned one on because I said, well, maybe it was me, and I went back in, looked to see what keywords were converting, and took out the other keywords that weren't. So I'm doing some testing, but usually no, not all my products are running on PPC. It just really depends.
Okay.
And that's the link to see the video and the text breakdown of how I write copy. Wait, no, maybe there's not the text breakdown in there. Okay, I guess I'll have to find the text break. Okay, no. If you look on that link I gave you, if you look right above the video, there's actually the document of the copy that I write. Also, kind of funny thing, I said loafers, but I meant slacks. So you're going to be watching the video, and you're going to be like, what the heck is she talking about? I was thinking that loafers were pants, but they're shoes, someone told me. So the product, the fictional product, or the fake product that I made for that example, I'm actually talking about pants, not shoes. So please note that. See, even the slowest of us can succeed with Amazon.
Great. Yeah, we use the merchant words a lot too, for product ads. So you can download that as a spreadsheet, all your results, and then, just copy one column right into the product ads, and then have all those keywords. So, that software is great. We use it, and, it has a lot of options for different things. Okay, so you have a listing created, you have your product, you said you give away a lot of your product to get reviews. So how do you do that? Who are you giving it away to? street?
Yeah, sure. And Rita, I'm in health and beauty, and yes, I did import from Alibaba. The items do have to be new. You cannot sell any used or like damaged type products in H&B, and you must get ungated, which means you have to be approved to sell in that category. Hope that answers your question. As far as the giveaways, it depends on the product. When I first started, I gave away to friends and family, people that I trusted. I made them coupon codes. They got it at a discount. I just said, hey, you know, I just want you to share your honest thoughts with me and post on Amazon. And they were happy to do that. Now, again, depending on the product, because some products I feel like it's just so good, I don't want to, you know, put it out there. I'll go to Facebook groups and basically say, hey, you get this for $1 in exchange for an honest review. And there's free Facebook groups out there. There are paid Facebook groups. I do use paid Facebook groups. There's one lady, her name is Bridget. She's amazing. And what she does is she manages my promotion. She sends it out. She has a group. And she kicks people out who don't leave reviews. So that's amazing. I love that. They get blacklisted and they're gone. So I tell her how many I want to give away, and then she manages the reviews, and it's usually a 90% return. So, you know, if I give away 100, I can usually expect to get about 90 reviews from that. And she stays on them. She's amazing. She does gift card giveaways in the group. It's a really great group. So sometimes it is worth it to just pay someone to do it, because it could be a headache keeping up yourself. Also keep in mind that there can be sellers in that group. So there's some people that could be lurking for ideas, waiting for someone to post, hey, you know, I'm going to give this away. And then they go to Alibaba and do the whole process and kind of so rip you off. One way you could kind of avoid that, or possibly avoid it, still using Facebook, is go to niche groups. Join before your product even comes, you know, contribute, you know, share pictures, share tips, funny stories regarding that niche. So, for example, I'm in the garden and home niche for one product. So before I even got the product, I joined several groups. I started contributing. I let them know that, hey, I'm a newbie, this, that, and the other. And then when my product came, I reached out to the admins. I said, hey, you know, I have a product that does X, Y, Z. I think the group will really love it. I would really love their feedback. To protect their financial information and their personal information, I set it up on Amazon so they could just, you know, pay via Amazon. I don't see anything, and I can ship the product out to them right away without even knowing their address or whatever. And then a lot of times admins are like, yeah, you know, cool. If it fits in the niche and the point that I'm saying, hey, I'm doing it through Amazon because it's a privacy issue, they're usually very understanding. And then from there, I can reach out to each individual one, get that feedback, and then say, hey, you know, I'm glad you liked it. Would you mind leaving a review on Amazon? It would really help me. And I tell them, if you don't know how to leave a review, let me know. And then I have a link that I can send them on YouTube where it shows you how to leave a review.
Right, great. Yeah, so, you know, I found some, you know, some groups for doing reviews as well. And I know there's a lot of sellers, because every time they post about it, I see sellers that I'm, you know, Facebook friends with, you know, saying that they want to be part of that. So, you know, I know they're getting into those groups and probably using that for ideas, you know, and, you know, there's a lot of paid ones that, you know, are charging quite a bit of money, from $5 to $20 per review. So, you know, let's go back to, you know, getting back to when you list the product, you said from 1 cent up to whatever. So you're not giving any, you're not doing any free giveaways as far as the products?
I have before, but now I don't. And it's just a personal choice.
Okay. Okay, great. So you have everything listed, and then what, so the only kind of promotion you're doing is the pay-per-click through Amazon. You're finding a product that's already selling well. You know, Andy Slamans, who has a course on private labeling, you know, I met with him at the Scan Power conference, and what he said he does is only buy products that are already hot selling, and looks like it could be a private label product. So, a generic, unbranded product that's already, a top seller on the first page, that he could easily get and compete without a hard time. And he said he'll give away $500 or $1,000 to get to that top page. And once it's the second or third one down, then what he's doing is just, staying there because people are finding it when they're searching for the other products, and, they're just organically buying. So are you doing any outside advertising or?
No, not at this time. Yeah, no, not at this time. I'm not doing any outside advertising. From the people that I've actually spoken to, the ones who are doing way more than me, 50 grand and above, they said they've done outside advertising, but find that because they're sending the traffic directly to Amazon, people are getting distracted with so much, the busyness on Amazon pages, that they're not seeing the conversions being worth it. I have heard someone say, if all possible, capture them as a lead, like bring them to a squeeze page and then send them to Amazon. If you're going to do it that way, if you're mailing to them, do not mail an affiliate link. Like some people like to become an affiliate of their own product for tracking purposes. If you do that, know that it is against Amazon's terms to put that in the email for them to click through. What you'll have to do is send them to like a blog post, and then they'll have to click on the blog. If Amazon finds out that you are doing it the way that I told you not to, they will shut down all your accounts. So that's something important I think everyone should know. So no, me personally, I don't do anything outside. I do a little CEO on the website that redirects to Amazon, but as far as any like paid advertising, no.
I definitely want to touch on that. You can't use any kind of affiliates for your own product. And most of your affiliates are going to be linked to your seller and buyer accounts anyway, so they're going to know immediately. So yeah, just always make sure you don't do an affiliate on your own product. And I wanted to touch on what Rita had said in the chat, about baby products. Making your own baby products. That's a category where it's very hard to deal with because everybody wants the brand name. You have to remember when you're selling on Amazon, they're looking for unique or products that they can't find somewhere. So we do a lot of groceries. Obviously, about 40% of our business is groceries. Places like Trader Joe's are popular on Amazon because somebody buys at Trader Joe's or gets a gift from Trader Joe's, and then they move away or there's no Trader Joe's around them. So the only way to get the stuff is to go to Amazon. So people are looking for brands on Amazon that they can't find or they're used to. So you have to remember that if you're private labeling a product that, you can't compete with Huggies or Pampers, when you're private labeling. You need to look at products that either have a name you've never heard of or have a name that, or have no name. A lot of products are not branded.
Yeah.
If you're selling, straws or, cups or, replenishable products, if your competition doesn't have a name, or the name doesn't even, look like it's a real name, then, it's something that you can compete with. But if it's a brand name, don't expect to ever compete with them because people are going to Amazon searching for that name only, and everything we're talking about here tonight, except for the sourcing part can apply to other things. We do a lot of liquidation and we share liquidation deals, and if it's not listed on Amazon, you can use all of this information to create your own listing on Amazon. All the product deals. I got a lot of hair products that weren't even listed on Amazon or had never sold on Amazon, and I used all of these ideas in the same way by creating a listing and getting the correct keywords and, you know, having an outside source take great pictures and, you know, using the product ads, all the, you know, I went to 2,000 in kids and then leveled off, or sorry, 2,000 in beauty over a couple days just by giving some product away and changing the search terms. And we were on the first page, you know, looking for whatever it was, hair elastics, you know, over just a couple days doing the things that we're talking about right now.
That actually, you brought up a really great point. When you're looking at a product, you want to make sure that it's not brand heavy, or just like you said, it's something that just dominates the market. You know, there are brands that I can name, and you guys already know what they do. You know, if I say Cottonelle, you guys know that's toilet tissue. Toilet tissue would be an awful category to go into, even though there's, you know, tons of money to be made because, you know, everyone uses it. There are, you know, Charmin, Cottonelle, there's people that just dominate that niche or that product type. Another thing is when someone is actually searching the brand in exchange for the product. For example, if I say, hand me a Kleenex, you know, I mean, hand you a tissue. The brand and the product are used interchangeably. And that's where you would want to get if you know your dreams are sky high, where people are using your brand as in place of the product. But if it's something like that, you want to stay away. Also, if the product that you're looking at is mostly sold by Amazon, you may want to stay away as well. Because as much as, you know, the product may look good, if Amazon is totally dominating it, it's going to be a little tough to beat them out. I mean, at the end of the day, it's their playground, you know. So you could do all these little tricks that I share with you, but at the end of the day, if Amazon wants to be first, they're going to be first. So yeah, so nothing brand heavy, nothing that's mostly sold by Amazon, and nothing that is interchangeable with the product type and the brand name.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so did we have any more questions for anybody, or you know, anybody can come on video and ask if you want.
Darren, as far as patents, I do a search through the government patent site. Also do like a general Google search. I'll also see if I can find their website and browse through. I literally browse through each page and right click and see if it has anything about patent. I'll go to their usually at the very bottom of the page, there's like these little small print links, and those have the interesting information about patents. That can be a little tricky if you're really, really skeptical. You're just gonna have to get a lawyer. There's no shortcut around it. I do my own research, but at the end of the day, the person may have not even put it out there publicly. But usually you can find it through the government site. Retail packaging, all my products right now are in poly bags. Whether they be the steel type or like zip, they're all in poly bags. I don't have anything in boxes right now or special packaging. Also in my product listings, I don't show the packaging. Amazon buyers are very used to just having the product in being secured in like a plastic bag and then like bubble wrapped or whatever, protected, and then, you know, they're okay with that, unless it's something like a electronic or something. It's usually just protected in a way that it's not going to get dirty. So I don't do any special retail packaging. I'm trying to think.
You know, if you do retail packaging, you know, if you get it put on a blister pack or in a box, once you create a listing on Amazon, you can use that M SKU or the FN SKU, which would be on the label, forever. So it's not every time you create, you list that item, that number and that barcode is always good as long as you're listing under the same account. So you could be having that printed right on your box or whatever packaging you have as you go. So, you know, you wouldn't ever have to put a label on, you know, a custom printed packaged private label item.
Right, right. And Darren, one thing I do is, even though it's in a poly bag, doesn't mean it can't be pretty. I have made inserts, and in the insert, it has my FNSKU, so the barcode. It has the barcode on the insert. The insert itself looks pretty. It's made for a couple cents on the dollar. And also it has like instructions and links to additional information, helpful information like customer service, nothing asking them for anything. So that's one way to make the poly bag kind of stand out. One idea that I'm playing around with is something that I learned watching. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the brand Johnny Cupcakes. I ran across him not too long ago, but he's a t-shirt designer and seller. And Johnny Cupcake made a great point that your packaging can be like mini billboards, to where when people, excuse me, people want to keep your packaging. So Johnny Cupcakes sells these shirts with cupcakes in weird situations. And he will ship it in things that are similar to what you may find in a bakery. So let's say you have like the biscuit can. Your shirt may come into something that looks like a biscuit can. It's harder to throw that away. So another example, let's say you don't want to do fancy packaging because it may cost you a lot. Instead of putting in an insert card in your bag, maybe you'll put, or a business card instead of your bag, maybe you'll put a credit card or something, not a credit card, sorry, something that looks like a credit card. And you can get this manufactured in China. I've done it before. So you would have it look like a special, maybe members only card. And you would have the number on there. You might have a special code on the back where they can save 20% on their next product. You have your brand logo on there. And that's a little harder to throw away. A business card is fairly easy to throw away. It's a flimsy sheet of paper, you know, I may or may not call this person, whatever. But this credit card, hey, this is cool. So I'm going to leave it on my desk. When I'm at my desk and I'm doing my thing, I might look at it and say, oh, you might need to reorder that or whatever. So the harder you can make it to for your customer to throw away something with your brand on it, the better. I'm playing around with some ideas right now. Like I said, the credit card idea. But essentially, you can still have very nice packaging without having the actual whole package produced. If that makes sense.
Great, great. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, we're going to wrap it up. You want to share your blog with everybody, so they can go check out what you're doing and keep updated with anything new you might have going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I'm going to put the link in there. It's ryansfbajourney.com. I share in my failures. I share in my successes, podcast on private labeling and Amazon, and little tips and tricks and tests that I've done. It's really just my way of kind of keeping a virtual diary of my journey and hopefully helping people who follow.
Great. And, you know, we'll post that information in the group as well. And when we post this to YouTube, you know, don't share the video. And, you know, Rye's a member of the group, so she'll, you know, be there to answer any questions. So you can just tag her if you want any information. And, you know, we've got another video coming up tomorrow talking about processes and everything else. And I just want to thank Rye for taking some time out and, you know, coming to talk to everybody. I think that it's a great, you know, idea to expand your business doing private labeling. You know, we've tried doing it a little bit, but, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, your whole business. And it doesn't have to be any of your business, but it's definitely a, you know, a good way to go where you can eliminate your competition. If you have your own brand, you know, nobody can ever compete with you. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.